Hi, this is Jackie with Panama Relocation Tours. Thank you for joining us for our Tuesday live stream. Today, you're in for a special treat when I interviewed the Ramirez family, who's going to talk about a private tour that they did in Panama. And I'm going to let them tell you where they did the private tour and some of the details about it in just a little bit. While we're waiting for people to roll in on the chat room, I see we've got a lot of regular names and some new people over there too. So thank you so much to everybody that's on the live stream. I do want to give a little bit of background for the benefit of those that are new. My name is Jackie Lange, the owner of Panama Relocation Tours. Since 2010, we've been offering all-inclusive 6-day, 7-night Panama Relocation Tours that take people all across the country to show them what it's like to live in Panama. It's not for tourist tour. And we don't even go to the Panama Canal, but we show you different neighborhoods. You meet expats that live there. You see rentals. You go to a hospital tour, shopping center tours. You get to see a lot of things. And the whole time the bus is rolling, it's like a rolling seminar because we're teaching you all the things you need to know to have a smooth move. But you know, that 6-day, 7-night tour, it's not right for everybody. We have a lot of people that come on, and if you're undecided about where you want to live in Panama, or you just want to see a lot of different areas, then I highly recommend our 6-day, 7-night all-inclusive tour. But if you've been watching my videos for years and reading my articles, and you're pretty sure you want to live in a certain area, whether that's Panama City or the beaches area, maybe Bocas del Toro on the Caribbean side, or up in the highlands, we also offer private tours. And the private tours, the benefit of the private tour is you can just really do a deep dive and focus on the area that you're most interested in. So if you know you don't want to live at the beach and you know you want to live in the mountains, just do a tour of the mountains. If you know you only want to live at the beach and you have no interest in the mountains, you can do a private tour that's just beach communities. So you get to decide and you get to customize exactly what things you do during your private tour. The good thing is they're affordable also. The price is about $250 to $350 per day, and that's for two people. The reason there's such a difference is it depends on the area. Some areas like Panama City might cost a little bit more than a different area like the Oswara Peninsula. And also it depends on the itinerary. You're going to start at 9 in the morning and go all the way till 6 o'clock at night, or you want to start at 10 o'clock in the morning and go till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You get to decide. With a private tour, you set the schedule, you set the pace, and you, working with your private tour guide, you're going to set an itinerary of things that you're going to accomplish. Of course, they're going to make a lot of recommendations, but you might want to do things like, I take 5 different medications and I'd like to go to some pharmacies and see, do they have them? What does it cost? Maybe you want to meet a Panamanian doctor. If you're a family with young children, you might want to go to one of the international schools and talk to the administrator there. So every private tour is customized to do exactly the things you want to do and the things you want to see. And when it comes to rental properties, instead of seeing $2,000 rentals like we might do during an all-inclusive tour, we also see $700 rentals too, but you can really focus in on your budget of the things that are going to be a good fit for you. So you get to see what would a rental be like in this $700 price range, $900 price range, whatever is a good fit for you. So I know some people are going to have some questions. I already see them coming in over on the side. If you could please hold off on all of your questions until the end of the live stream, then we'll take your questions, but hold off on them because I'm going to bring on our guest speakers in a few minutes. I also want to make sure and recognize and thank our 2 moderators. We have 2 moderators this time. One is Rebecca, who's been on many of them. We also have a new moderator. Her name is Sunny, who lives in the Boquete area. So we have 2 moderators. The moderators are there to remind you, don't ask any questions until I tell you to. When you do ask a question, you have to put 3 question marks in front of it. The other rule that we have on all of our live streams is please leave politics out of it. When you move to Panama, it's a good idea to leave your politics at the border and don't bring it with you because nobody wants to hear it here. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring on our guest speakers. I have Vic and Cynthia. Is that right?
Cynthia.
Cynthia. So Vic and Cynthia. Tell us a little bit of background about, so you're not in Panama yet, but you did come on a private tour. So tell us a little bit about why did you decide to do a private tour and which area did you do? Did you do a private tour in?
Okay, we really wanted to do the whole 7-day tour, to be honest with you. But at the time, the move is such a big deal that we decided to go for the private tour because it was more affordable for us at the time.
Plus, we already knew that we wanted country living, day living.
We had already chosen to be up in the mountains, and our favorite place was Boquete. And this is after viewing so many videos, and we've reviewed just about every video out there more than once. And we were going back and forth from the beach, from Condado to Bocas del Toro, a few of the mountain areas. But our favorite, specifically because of the temperature, was Boquete. We're coming from Florida, and it's really muggy hot.
And your electric bill's really high.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Yeah, so living up in the highlands, you don't even need an air conditioner, and your electric bill's really low.
Exactly.
The air conditioner here is 24/7.
Yeah, never turn it off. So that really appealed to us, the fact that we can open up a couple of windows and have a nice breeze, a natural breeze. That appealed to us. And it also, living in the mountains, I'm from Puerto Rico. I was born in Puerto Rico, raised in Chicago, but born in Puerto Rico. And we were up in the mountains. So that's part of my culture. And I love being in the mountains. I love the breezes, and I love the views, the mountain views and everything. So Boquete seemed to be a perfect fit. So because it appealed so much to us, we had already set in our minds, well, let's just go to Boquete. Let's see, be convinced about making the choice of Boquete. And then once we're there, for the 6-month period, we can go around to all the other places and then compare them to Boquete. So that's kind of the plan that we had, and
quite frankly, it was a last-minute decision. We were in Brazil earlier in the year, and like a few days before leaving, we were like, we're on this side of the planet. Why not just fly up to Panama, because we already were in love with it and we wanted to see it, like you say. We've heard many times, the boots on the ground, right? And so we did. While we were there, we kept looking at videos from, the Panama Relocation Tours. And between that and we had subscribed for that 15-part email series that you provide, Jackie, we decided right then and there, while still in Brazil, to get the online guide, and we started reading left and right. And before we left Brazil, we had selected Mauri Miranda as our tour guide.
Right. And it was great it was such a godsend to have that guide, because the one thing that has kept us from moving earlier is that, making a move to a whole different country is such a big ordeal. It's nothing like
overwhelming.
It's nothing like moving from state to state. So we wanted to, make sure that we were making the right move, and to make sure, especially, that we were doing the right things at the right time. And we knew there had to be a sequence to all the things that you had to do. So with this guide, it was like, oh my God, it was a no-brainer. We had everything that we wanted to know to make us feel comfortable about making this move was in there. I mean, the guide is like, I can't speak enough about it. It was whoever put it together is put
we're
it
looking
together.
at
Excellent. It's just perfect.
Yeah. And it makes it easy when it's in different categories. Like if if you want to learn about visa stuff, we have the visa category. If you want to learn about getting your pets here, we got a section on that. Buying a car, getting a driver's license, everything's in sections with lots of details. To just, so you can just, search it, whatever you're thinking about, you can just search it and it makes it super easy. And then of course, our private Facebook group is your whole support system. Also, that if something's not clear, or if you want to know what other people's experience was, then you can tap in the collective of everybody in our private Facebook group. Many of those 7,000 people have already moved to Panama, so that makes it's nice to have that support system.
It sure is, and we've tapped into it a couple of times, looking for added information, update information, and it's a great place to be able to go to get up to date information. So we're so appreciative of it. It's convinced us that yes, we're ready to make the move. So much so that we're packing. We're selling, we're giving away, we're donating.
Mm-hmm.
We have a call to a estate sale person that was highly recommended, and so.
Oh, and I also wanted to add that, in the beginning, we wanted to drive because it's hard to find a favorite truck that fits you and drives the way you want it. So I found the perfect truck in a Frontier Nissan, and I was going to drive and have a small trailer in the back with some of our favorite stuff, And after listening to some of the videos, and your
article, the article that's on the online guide of the cost and all those things, and the parts, getting repair work done on a foreign, a car that's not manufactured there in the country,
and all the fees that you have to pay in order to drive a car in. We looked at each other. We said, "No, we're not doing that." So we've already got the car.
You can do it the easy way, or you can do it the hard way. It's your choice.
Exactly.
And our family has given a sigh of relief because nobody wanted us to drive.
Nobody wanted us to drive down there.
Nobody wanted us to go to Mexico.
They were giving us nightmare
scenarios,
and we, at first we were insistent on doing it that way.
We wanted the adventure,
But the adventure would have been nice, but I don't want to go through the hassles. In this one video that we saw, the guy was at one of the border stoppings and he had to sit there for like 3 or 5 hours because their system went down. And I was like, no, that heat, no, there's no way we're going to go through that. It was just too much, we're up in age, so we're looking to live a lot less stressful, So it helped us to make the choice of flying. So we're going to fly in and maybe stay for a week in Panama City to start our. And then by the guide also, it gave us the opportunity to choose the pensionado visa, which is what we chose to pursue. So everything that we could possibly question or need in order to make this move a really good move with as less amount. And I could see where this could run into some serious money if you don't know what you're doing,
Yeah.
Not talking to the right people, we picked out a perfect immigration attorney in Giovanna,
yes.
Yeah. So, just everything, we would have goofed up there because we didn't know who to turn to. Like I said, when it's another country, you don't know anything on the other side. So it's great to have a guide that lets you know. And we know that your reputation is that you don't mess around. You make sure you get the best people and if they don't do right, you're going to kick them.
And if they don't do right,
yeah, exactly. We like that. We like that. That's
it's like one strike and you're out.
Yeah. And we like that. So it was easy for us to choose, there were several choices. We were having a hard time which one to pick. But it made sense to us to pick Maori for our tour guide because we figured, well, she's Panamanian.
She
She's
lives in
from here.
Boquete.
She lives in Boquete, which is where we want to be, you know.
Makes sense.
So it made sense to us. So we picked her, and we were not at all disappointed. She was above and beyond what we expected. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We weren't trying to see everything. Like I said, that's one of the reasons, the main reasons we chose the short tour is we weren't trying to see everything all at once. We wanted to see it slowly so we can appreciate everywhere we went and really be able to determine where we want to be. So we figured, well, let's start with Boquete, you know, and she showed us around everywhere. One of our concerns was, you know, medical, because my wife is a transplant patient, so she needs specific immunosuppressant medication that she takes on a daily basis. So we had, and she took us around to several pharmacies. No,
But she not only did that. When we got there, we had no cash.
oh yeah,
And like the apartment we rented was to be cash and other things.
right.
And because we had fraud that happened to us while we were in Brazil, that
Mm.
happened within the U.S., not in Brazil, but we were there at the time. So though we were set, financially in Brazil, we were like, okay, when we get to the airport in Panama, we'll
We
go
just
to an
draw out the
ATM and
money.
withdraw some
Yeah.
money. Well, that did not work. So we were able to get from Panama City to David, and so the day of the tour, which was the very next morning, we told Mauri what was happening, and thank the Most High that our the owner of where we stayed, Miranda Apartments, he was so patient with us.
Very,
He
very
understood, but we
patient.
were feeling kind of funny because
Yeah.
we don't know each other, and
It was
we
very
were
awkward.
hoping he didn't think we were trying to
Scam them.
scam him or something. So anyway, so we explained to her what was going on, and she happened to have been a banker, so she knew exactly what to do, exactly where to go. So that was like one of the first things we did on our list that morning. It got resolved. She took us to a place where we could get, the 250 is the max you can
And we
withdraw
didn't
at the
know
time.
that. So
We didn't know that at the time, but she took
That
us
was
to
a
a
surprise.
location where at that ATM we were able to do the 250 several times, and so
Mhm.
we got enough for what we needed. And so that was,
Okay.
one fire she helped put out for us. Another thing she did, this was before the tour,
yeah.
since we had been in Brazil for 2 weeks, we had not had our laundry washed. So we had two suitcases
We
full
were
of
up in
dirty
the mountains,
laundry.
first
Yeah,
of
because
all,
we
and
were
they
in the
didn't have
mountains in Brazil.
laundromats available. So
So she took us to this place called Lavamatico, and she says, just drop off your laundry there. We'll go on the tour. You pick it up when you come back. And sure enough, the lady was amazing. She washed, dried, and folded, and it
Yeah.
was just all in the suitcases when we got back.
and everything was so perfect.
Mhm.
We were
So,
highly impressed
yeah.
at how well she took care of us.
Yeah.
And we Mauri pointed out things that had we done it on our own, we would have never ended up in the places that we needed to see and learn about.
Mhm.
So it was a really valuable thing to have a guide, a tour guide. I see it as an investment, a huge investment, because we could have spent a lot of money needlessly, not knowing where to go or what to do. And she took us to the medical facilities that they had there, and we were able to see, and the pharmacies, and Cynthia was able to find out, and some of the medications that she takes is available there. It's under
Mhm.
a name, but it's available. Plus, not only pharmacies, but we went to.
Well, here's some of the places that we remember touring with her. Like Victor said, to the pharmacies. This is after the whole cash fiasco and the laundry situation. She had picked us up from where we were staying at the Miranda Apartments and took us to a fruit and vegetable market that was nearby. We could have walked to had we known it was there.
Right.
And so we got to just inhale and feast our eyes on all the yummy looking veggies and fruits. We ate some fresh cut up mangoes while we were there. Then we walked right over to a panaderia, a bakery, where, it was just the smell of fresh baked bread as you walk through there.
Right.
And so the thought to me was like, I can live here and I can walk to get fresh bread in the morning, fresh fruit in the morning, and it's walking distance, were we to stay there. So we had lunch with Mauri at the fonda named Meye Bonure. And I learned that that's a term that means beautiful mother in the Ngave Double language, the dialect. So there was great food. Some of the names, we speak Spanish,
Right.
but some of the things had different names.
Right.
Like the patacones, we call them tostones, but we indulged and it was all delicious and very affordable. She took us to Valle Escondido, which is like a resort community, I would say.
Right.
And oh my gosh, the landscaping is just amazing. Just so
Flowers
lush.
everywhere. It's beautiful.
Yeah, they had a spa there, I believe, and a restaurant, and they have homes and condos, and you could just spend the day walking around there. It's just beautiful. We also she took us to other communities, and so we saw the traditional Panamanian housing. She reminded me a little bit of how things are in Aruba, the homes. From there, we started going up the mountain, and we went to, and correct us if we're wrong here, I think it was, we were in Alto Lino, and I believe the name of the coffee farm was Finca Bonita. And so Mauri shared with us that the owner there, a farm that had been there for many years, and that the owner there was very community active in the community and a strong supporter of Panamanians.
Right.
So
Is it this one?
no, that was another one. I didn't take.
It's a different one. Okay.
That's a different one. I didn't take pictures of there, but while we were at the Finca Bonita, as we were driving by, we got to see how some of the indigenous people live.
That was really
They're such simple homes, and that's their preference in living that way with multiple families together. And those are the people who are actually working the farm where we were passing by.
It's impressive to see how they maintain their culture, and they have such a pride and express it through these parades and whatnot. It's really something that to us it was impressive. I respect that and I appreciate that.
Further up from there, we went to Castillo Bambuda, which we learned was built by an Irishman.
And put it up here.
Yeah.
No, let's see. Let me find the castle. This is it right here. The castle.
It's huge.
Yes, Boquete has a castle.
Yes, it does. And it is a beautiful
It's
castle.
beautiful inside. If I recall correctly, the Irishman sold it, and there were some young people there restoring it and turning it into a hotel, and it's just beautiful inside. And then they have these hobbit houses.
They have these little hobbit houses.
Yeah,
You can stay in a hobbit house.
They had on one of the towers of the castle, they had a rock climbing situation there. So, and then you look out we went into the building itself, the castle, and went to, I don't know what floor we were on. And it's just open window, open, and you're just looking out at.
See the coffee growing everywhere.
Yeah, and then in the back was Volcan Baru, and it was just, it just takes your breath
Something
away.
that you have to be there to really appreciate, an experience,
So there, the Altieri coffee farm that you were showing, we did go in there. We walked around a bit, and these coffee farms, they look like gardens because it's not just the coffee bushes or trees, but they have beautiful flowers, all different colors. You can't see, but Mauri, our guide, is way at the bottom on one side and the other. But it was a great tour. We did it for the one day because we wanted to kind of explore on our own too. The other few days we were there.
That's one of the really nice things about a private tour is you can, they have 3-day tours that you can take or 7 to 6 day, 7-night tour that you can take. But if you're just really focusing on one town, you get to decide, one day enough, talk to your tour guide about all the things you want to do, and they'll be honest with you and say, you can do all that in one day, or maybe you need 2 days. If you want to do Boquete and Volcan, and maybe, one of the towns in between, like Dolega, you're going to need 2 days for that. But the tour guide's not going to say you have to do 3 days. And you can save money on a private tour by just doing 1 day focusing on one area. Some people do, a private tour in one place if they're undecided, and then they'll do a private tour with a different tour guide in a completely different place. And then you can decide which one. Or like you're planning to do, just come to Panama for 6 months and do some more exploring after you get here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's great. I agree with you. It's one of the big attractions for us with the short tour was that you get to customize and you get to do the way you want it,
Right.
So it was perfect. It worked out perfect for us,
Well, we were there because we were there a total of 4 days. So after the tour, we did some grocery shopping at the Super Baru, which was walking distance.
Right.
We really loved the Parque Biblioteca. Oh my gosh, it's a huge park, and it's got the river, Caldera River on one end and
Mhm.
other, and you just hear the water flowing, and it's just amazing. There's ducks and koi fish and all
It's
kinds.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but we Panama Relocation Tours had a special park bench put there with our name on it.
No.
Place to sit and rest. So yes,
Well,
we
look,
little piece of Panama Relocation Tours is in the park.
wonderful.
But you know what? On a personal level, you come from Florida, and I was not as much because we had already vacationed in Brazil, but I still had some stress and some anxiety. From Florida, all the stuff that's going on in Florida, and for the first time, I kid you not, for the first time while we were walking in the Biblioteca Park, I could feel peace. I could feel like I was.
Feel the stress level go way down.
Yeah, my body was actually. I could feel the calmness of my body and in my mind. I wasn't worried about anything. I was able to enjoy nature and the noise of not the noise, but the sound of the river, the running water. It was something else. Just the whole the way that they put that park together it's perfect. It's the perfect place to walk.
And part of that is, when you come to Panama, you just don't know. I've seen these videos and I've read all this stuff, and maybe it's just a lie. And maybe it's too good to be true. But once you get to Panama and you say it's even better, it's even better than I thought, then that's when you say, I can see myself living here. This could really work. And that's whenever, just this joy comes over, that knowing that this could be your next home and a special place to live, and it has the things you need. Now, it's not going to be fancy. It's going to be rough around the edges. I'm the first to admit the sidewalks are terrible. And the grocery stores may not have all the things you're used to, but what do you really need? Everything you really need is going to be there.
Right. The other things are more important than that to me, but it gave us an excitement to be able to know that this place does exist. The people really are this nice, and everything really is a fraction of the cost of the things in Florida. And everything was easy access. We were able to walk everywhere. It was so nice, and
you know what I liked? I liked feeling that mist that comes from at a certain time of the day. I don't know if the clouds are rolling in or something.
Yeah.
And
The Bahariki.
Oh, I love
the Bahariki.
All right. Yeah,
we were both looking around.
That was special. I was like, what is this? But I liked it. Yeah. So we did some window shopping along the Avenida Central. Our favorite little coffee place is Casa del Café Panama, and we brought some home with us. Sugar and Spice was to die for, the food there.
Yeah. Let me pop that. You sent me a picture of that. Let me pop that up here. Yeah, Sugar and Spice is also, people say, oh, where can I meet expats? We'll go to Sugar and Spice. Absolutely. And there's always going to be, one of the owners is, I think from the U.S., his wife is Panamanian, but it's just a regular spot because they make fresh bread every single day. Right. They, all kinds of really good cookies, and their breakfast, lunch, everything is delicious there.
Right. What made me the happiest was I ordered a guanabana juice. It's a pure juice. Guanabana is soursop. Mm-hmm. And they blended it up, and it was cold, and it was so good. I hadn't had that since my time in Puerto Rico, you know.
Yeah.
But they had other fresh juices. You know, I love that when you order a fresh juice there, they give you actual fresh juice, fruit that was probably picked not too long ago.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in your cup.
Yeah, they cut it right then and blend it, and you're getting it super fresh. And you know the sour sop is really good for you too.
Yeah,
It's so good for you. They say it's even better than chemotherapy for curing cancer.
right.
Well,
So yeah, so you should have a little bit of that often to
Yeah,
keep the bad things away.
we
yeah,
plan to.
we plan to.
Yeah, and the way the place was set up was really nice. You know, it's a real nice sit down kind of place. You know, you don't have to worry about anything. They serve you. The service was great. You know, they were so attentive
Mhm.
and really, you know, they gave you recommendations. Oh, if you want this, you know, or that, you know, and explain things that we didn't even see on the menu. So it was just a really great place to be able to eat at. You know, we enjoyed it. You know.
A couple of other places. We one evening we ordered in takeout from a place called El Patron de Shawarma because we like Middle Eastern food too, and so the owner himself came and delivered our order
Yeah,
to
that was
us.
kind
So,
of that was a
and
nice
he didn't
touch.
want a tip or anything like that, and he was
Mhm.
cool, like if we had known each other, you know.
Yeah.
And we went to another couple of walk distance that were close to us, Tacoholics and Restaurante Valle del Cusco, which is Peruvian food. That was right next to where we were staying, the apartment that we rented.
Right.
But yeah,
Excellent
we had a
food.
great time. Mauri took us to the airport in David when it was time to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really good. And we stayed in touch with her through WhatsApp.
We
So,
couldn't we couldn't have asked for a better tour guide. We couldn't have, and it was such a good choice to choose that short tour because, like I said, we were able to customize it to what we wanted to do. You know, what made us feel comfortable with making the trip. You know, and we're convinced. You know, we left there totally convinced, excited to come back. And then the hardest thing was we couldn't come back fast enough. You know, we were trying to figure out all kind of different things to try to make the comeback quicker. But we did everything we could. But we're ready now. You know, we're ready to sit up in the states.
Yeah.
For the rest of the stuff. So that should happen pretty quick. And like I said, we were able to sell the car, and the only thing left is to rent the house because what we decided was to rent our house here for 6 months so we can check it out and make sure that this is a move that we want to make.
And scout around and see is Boquete really the place?
Right.
Maybe it might be,
Condado
or Dolega or whatever. So we just during those 6 months, we want to scout around and just to make sure,
Right.
Right. And the good thing is, we have a list of very, very great real estate agents and property managers that can help you find the perfect rental when they know that you're coming, and you just tell them what you're looking for and your budget, and never tell them the top number. Tell them a little bit lower. And because you might think you have to spend $1,000 a month to get what you're looking for, but you might find the perfect place for $750. So just keep an open mind whenever it comes to looking for rentals. What was the highlight of your private tour besides Mari? I know she was the highlight of it, but besides Mari herself, your tour guide, what was some of the highlight of the things that you saw or did?
Well, for me, it was realizing that it was true that the people really are that nice, that it's almost like their culture to be nice to you, and to the service everywhere we went. They treated us special. They treated us like we were welcome. They really appreciated it, and so we appreciated them. And it was almost like, I don't know if you ever saw this movie called Pleasantville.
Yeah.
Where everybody was pleasant. That's what I told my wife, Cindy. It's like being in Pleasantville here, So I was impressed by that, and I was impressed by the fact that, it was a proof to me that you can actually live there, that it's peaceful, and that everything that was there that we noticed was a lot cheaper than here in the States. You know, all the things that I needed to see and feel and touch and eat for myself, we were able to do. And it was really, it made things concrete for me, knowing that, yeah, this really exists. This place is real. And it really is what they say it is. And we want to be there. We want to be part of that community, you know. And I especially am impressed by the fact that that the people there have retained their culture. There's so many others that have lost it, so it was really impressive to see that aspect of it. So, yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited, and I can't wait to get to Panama and to start our the last chapter of our life, yeah, willing. So,
It's going to be the best chapter.
yes,
Yes, the best chapter. Well, one of the other things that I know Mari told you, but one of the things about Mari being your tour guide, even for that one day, she's there for you. When you come back and you need something, she's there to help you. You know, if you want her to go with you to open up a bank account, or if you want her to drive you to David to go to PriceSmart, you know, she's going to be with you for the whole time you live in Panama for anything you need.
Yeah, while we were together, it was obvious, you know, we'd be walking down the street and people would be greeting her, you know, not like just being polite. They knew each other. You could tell that they knew each other, and there was relationship.
There's a sense of family there.
Yeah.
We like that.
So.
Yes. Oh yeah, everybody knows her. You know, I met her in 2010. The first time I came to Panama, and she worked they still had an HSBC bank, and she worked at the bank, and she opened up a bank account for me. And then the HSBC shut down, and she went to work for another bank, but she really didn't like the managers there. So then she went to work for a different bank. And every time I would go in and see her, the joy in her seemed to be going down. And I could tell that she just wasn't so happy. And I said, Mari, I'm starting these private tours. How would you like to be a private tour guide? And she said, when can I start? I said, today. And, you know, she's had a smile on her face ever since then. I think she was put on this earth to be a private tour guide. She's just so, she knows what you need before you need it almost. And she just, you know, she loves her country, and she wants you to see it so that you would see it through her eyes.
She's sharing it. Yes. And you know what? I also want to give you the credit that you deserve, because, you know, all the information that we see and that we hear, it's so good. And we really appreciate the fact that you go beyond what you need to. You know, we laugh with each other when we hear that you found another hospital that's going to be part. It's like you do everything. You know, expats have a godsend in you, in that everything that we need, you provide, and then you go above. It's like you lobby for expats. We dubbed you the expat queen.
Thank you. Yeah, we really needed to have direct billing for Medicare Advantage, and I decided to make that my mission to have that available in Panama, and thank God that it's now available. Not at all hospitals, but at many hospitals.
Yeah, we really appreciate that you go above and beyond, and that you're always, we see your compassion and your care, and that really touches us, you know, because you don't see that too much in this world today, you know, for people to go to do that much and to care that much and to work so hard to, you know, to do for other people. That's really a gift, you know. We thank y'all for you that you're there and that you're working on our behalf, and we want to be part of that. You know, it's really something to desire. You know, so we thank you for that, and we give you all the credit. All hail the Queen of the X Factor.
Thank you so much. Well, it's a beautiful country to live in, but there are certain things that you need to make it easy to live there. And so I try to find the right things, to make it easy.
Yeah, we've already got our immigration attorney, like Victor mentioned, Giovanna, and she's been helping us even without us putting down a cent yet.
Right.
We have questions, we get, communicate through WhatsApp, and she will answer.
We're
We know
grateful
what
to
steps
her,
to take when, and we told her what our plan was for the 6 months and then the longer term. So and then we already have had 2 meetings with Wes Chapman for insurance plans for next year, and he's already sent us a summary of benefits for next year that are specific for my needs and also for Victor's. So and all of that was going through the guide.
And also the documents. We have all our documents set up. The things that needed to be apostilled, we got that done. So we're set.
Remember, your documents can't be more than 6 months old when you apply for a visa.
We did the FBI report a little too early. So everything else once we have our date firm, and then we'll go to because in Tampa they have a Panamanian consulate.
Yeah, Tampa and Miami.
Mm-hmm. So we already spoke to them there, and it's a matter of taking the documents in, and
we showed you the roadmap.
Yes, absolutely. Sure. That's what we went by, and we got all our ducks in a row. Believe me. Now it's just a matter of activating what we know.
I like your cheat sheet. I like doing checklists.
Yes.
When we're gonna go do something, so I've got your cheat sheet printed out, and what to do in 3 months, and
the 6 month checklist. Yeah, that really just gives you. And you may have to add some things to it, but it gives you peace of mind knowing that you didn't get all the way to Panama and say, "Oh darn, I forgot to do this or forgot to do that." You make sure that it reminds you to get certain things done.
Yeah, we love it. It's in sequence. It's in perfect sequence. The things that needed to be done. That's really. It's special, it makes it so much easier, so we're really appreciative, of all that you provided to be able to help us to relocate, because we're no longer concerned about anything. We're ready to make the move now.
So when you did your private tour, was it mostly just in the Boquete area, or did you go into some other towns that are close by, or just mostly Boquete and Alto Boquete?
Yeah.
Mostly,
yeah, that was it. Boquete and Alto Boquete. Like I said, we wanted to. That's our biggest interest right now, unless we find something that's better. And I'm kind of thinking that we're not gonna, based on all we've seen, all the videos that we've reviewed.
We just wanted to be like the locals for that little bit of time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just stay there and get the feel for it.
You'll find the perfect place to live. I know you will. I know a lot of people are just chomping at the bit to ask you some questions about a private tour. Is it okay if I open it up for some questions?
Yes.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, if anybody has a question for Vic or Cindy, then all you have to do is type it into the chat window, and you have to put 3 question marks in front of it. So one of the things is... how do you spell the tour guide's name? It's Maury. Can you break down your expenses for going on a private tour, from your flight to the USA, the room that you stayed in, the private tour? So about what did it cost total to go on a private tour?
I can't tell you off the top of my head, but our room was $400 for the 4 nights,
and it was an excellent stay. The room was clean. It was very nice. Not that big, but it was perfect for what we needed. We just needed a place to kind of pit stop in, but it was an excellent place. The location was almost dead center in Boquete, so this way we can go either way and take care of business. And it's really true. They were so accommodating, for the price. the place. And you know, he gave us his number to call him in case anything came up. We were like, okay, you know.
So it was $400 for the room, for the apartment. It was $40 because he picked us up. It was $40 for the shuttle ride from David to Boquete.
And Mark, your tour guide picked you up at the airport, right?
How did we get? We flew from Panama to David,
Right.
Okay.
and then David, the gentleman that we rented from picked us up.
Right.
Okay, great.
Right. But actually, it would be difficult to give. Well, I suppose we could spend some time and put it all together because we flew in from Brazil.
Not from here.
We flew from Brazil to Panama City, then from Panama City to David, and then he picked us up. The owner of the rental picked us up at David.
That's great.
The tour itself was $250,
Right.
and that was for the both of us with lunch included and the extra services with helping us with our money and getting our laundry
It was
done.
more than worth it, you know.
So yeah,
Money well invested. You know.
Yeah. So someone asked a question, what's the minimum number of days? The minimum number of days for a private tour is 1. So we're not going to force you to pay for 3 days. You can just do a 1-day private tour, or you can do a 2-day private tour. It really depends on how much of an area you want to explore. If you're just going to explore one town, 1 day is probably enough. But if you're going to see several different towns, you might need 2 days or even 3. But you just discuss that with your private tour guide. And we have multiple private tour guides in every area throughout the country. So just discuss with the private tour guide, well, I'd like us to do this, or I'd like to do that, or I want to make sure and do these things. And then they'll say, well, 1 day is plenty to get all of those things done. Or they might say, we really need 2 days if you don't want to feel rushed. But they're going to be honest with you about how much time you need. But $250 a day for 2 people, includes lunch, is a really good price.
And we went all over. I mean, she covered everything that we needed to know. Like I said, we customized it. So everything that we needed to know while we were there for that time, we received, the answers.
she picked us up at 9:00 sharp, and we didn't get back till maybe 5 p.m.
Yeah, full day.
It was a full day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it was excellent. I would highly recommend that tour because you get so much information out of that in just 1 day. And like I say, we already had our mindset on starting off in Boquete. So once we get there, now that we're going back for 6 months, then we'll go on our own and tour around, or maybe even hire a tour guide again, because there's so much that you can learn when you have a tour guide. They can take you to all the important places that you really know.
Right. If you tried to do all those things on your own, it would have taken you at least 5 days or 7 days. Just not knowing where to go and what to do and how to get things done. But having a tour guide saves you time and money. It really does save you time. And someone had asked, how far in advance should you book a private tour guide? It's really a good idea to book at least 30 days in advance, even though we have multiple private tour guides in each area. It's a good idea to book at least 30 days in advance. 2 weeks might work, but they might say, sorry, I'm booked out for the next 30 days. So it would be a good idea at least 30 days. And if one person is booked out, then contact the other private tour guides in the area. So another question is, what made you choose Boquete other than Panama City?
Well, you know what? Panama City isn't out of our radar because we're up in age, and we just haven't really decided. Boquete was a starting point because
of the weather. Yeah.
There's
so many things appeal to us. And we like to be in nature, so Boquete. I mean, there's flowers everywhere, hummingbirds, all kinds of nature exists there, and
So
we loved it.
One of the other things was we got around just fine while we were in Boquete. Like Jackie said, some of the sidewalks, you do need to watch where you're walking. You know,
Right.
you can't walk looking up or walking looking at your cell phone.
Right.
But we got around just fine, and we walked. The days that we were there, we walked. We didn't rent a car. The only time we were in a car was when we were on the tour, and we had no problems at all. We were able to do whatever we needed to do, and with ease.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Panama City, you know, we'll check it out while we're there, but we've lived in the city before. We lived in the city of Chicago for years, and we love the country. We love country living. We love the fresh air and waking up to, you know, greenery and beautiful flowers and things like that. So,
and that kind of atmosphere, you know, it puts you at peace. You know, you're living a better life because you're in a place where you're in, you know, you can't help but feel better and be better when you're
while we
in
were
nature,
there.
you
While
know.
we were
The air's cleaner. Yeah.
You can tell.
You can smell
You
it.
can
know,
tell. You can
smell
feel it. While we were there, the day that we had to bring our laundry back, we were with our 2 suitcases walking back to the apartment, and we passed by a store. The parking was in the back, and there was a lady getting into her van, and she said, "Do you need a ride?" She spoke in English. I said, "Oh, you speak English." And so she insisted, and she gave us a ride back to our apartment. And on the way there, she had just moved, she and her husband, from the state of Washington. So we got to chat a little bit. We stayed in her car. She had parked in front of her. And we exchanged phone numbers. You know, here we are, perfect strangers. And, you know, we have her information to this day. So it was
People are friendly.
Yeah.
Yes, we plan on looking her up once we get to Boquete. That we really appreciated the fact that she didn't know us at all, and she offered a ride to us. She saw us struggling with the 2 bags.
You see that happen often. Yeah.
It happened here in Florida. So we looked at each other and we were like, you know, when you're from the States, you suspect everything. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to say that because it's not the way we're supposed to be, you know.
Yeah.
You don't really notice that until you go to a place, you visit a place where it's nothing like that.
It's nothing like it. Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to worry about getting sex trafficked in Boquete.
Exactly. Yeah. That was really nice. Really nice.
So someone said, do you feel comfortable with a level of services for seniors in Boquete?
Well, we sure are, and we didn't get to experience too much of it because we weren't there long enough. But with we don't have a visa yet, the pensionado visa. But we were asked if we wanted the discounts when we went to certain places. The seniors get discounts on a lot of things. I don't have my list in front of me. I know I could tell you, but yes,
we got 20% off. Mm-hmm.
Right. And they gave it to us even though we told them, no, we want to get a pensionado visa, but we haven't gotten it yet. And they gave it to us anyway, you know. So to us, it was like, who does that, you know? It was great.
The culture is different. There's a respect for seniors, you know.
Yes, they do.
There's a certain respect for seniors, and which is refreshing.
We love that. Yeah. At the end of the day, what people want is to be able to live with a little respect and dignity, you know, and you don't get that everywhere you go. So that was refreshing to be able to see that still exists somewhere, you know. But to go back to the Panama City, we like Panama City. You know, we considered Panama City because, like I said, we're older, and I do my own landscaping here, the property that we own. And at the end of the day, I'm so tired, you know, it takes all my energy out, you know, and I don't think I want to do that for too much longer. I think I want to really retire, you know, and so the whole thing of being able to live in a condo, 18 floors up and having the view of the ocean, you know, and having all of your needs met right around there, you know, within walking distance. That appeals to us. We're just, it's hard for us to get over the hump of, you know, so many people all in one place, you know. After living in the city of Chicago for most of our lives.
It's nice to be away from that.
Yeah, exactly. So But Panama City is a nice place. You know, if you like that kind of lifestyle. I mean, we were shocked to be able to look at the buildings. It reminded us of Miami, better than Miami because the buildings were so beautiful. I was really surprised. I was taken back to see that they're so advanced. You know, everything. It's like a regular huge city. You know.
We can always go there for a weekend.
Yeah, go visit. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Someone else asked, did you have any problems with mosquitoes while you were there?
No,
Not at
not
all.
one.
That's another thing we like in Boquete. There's always a nice breeze. So I don't know if that's what does it, but I never got one bite while we were in
We were
Miami.
there
And we toured
the
the
last
park, you know.
couple of days of February into like March 4th. So we were there like in the springtime.
And it was beautiful.
Or the
It was
beginning of
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you recommend bringing U.S. cash when you come on your tour next April? So
Yes.
remember, Panama uses the U.S. dollar. They've been using the U.S. dollar for more than 100 years.
Right.
Now, if you don't have any dollars, you can go to an ATM machine like they did, and you can put in your debit card and get some U.S. dollars. However, you can only get about $250 with a foreign debit card. You can only get $250 at a time, and it still costs more than $6 to get that. So hopefully you're using a debit card that will reimburse you for foreign transaction fees.
Right.
We're planning to use the Schwab.
The Schwab card
Right.
before we get there. So we're going to be a lot more prepared. I think one of the other things that we learned, so you know, all the little things that you need to learn in order to be able to, transact with everybody and just be able to make purchases and everything, is it was, you know, we felt satisfied that we had learned enough about that to be prepared. Now when we go back, we're going to have that Schwab card, and we already know what the limit is, and and you know, we're going to travel with a little bit more cash this time, you know, instead of depending just on a credit card or a debit card.
Right. Well, and you know, like Sugar and Spice, they take credit cards. You can use your credit card there. Many of the restaurants take credit cards. So fruit and vegetable stand that you went to, that's cash or cash. But preserve your cash and use a credit card wherever possible. Yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly what we did.
Some other questions have already scrolled off the screen. So someone asked if the relocation guide is included with the tour, with a private tour. If you go on a private tour, you actually have to buy the online Panama relocation guide first, and then you get access to the list of who the private tour guides are. If you come on a 6-day, 7-night, all-inclusive Panama relocation tour, then after that tour, you get the online guide for free. So either way, but I can tell you, you're going to need the guide because it has everything that you need step by step, really organized. So you're going to need the guide.
And you're going to love that guide once you get.
And it's perpetual. You know, it's always updated with the latest information, and it's available to you forever.
Right. It's like having a team of people on your side to give you whatever information you need in order to make your transition from your state to Panama.
And then you can ask questions here, like today. You can send an email, and Jackie and her team are quick to respond.
And your daughter, so good. We've talked to your daughter, and she's really helped us out a lot too. So you know, your whole team is just spot on. You know, I'm so glad that we hooked up with your.
I'm glad you found us.
Yes. Absolutely.
So Marie says, my husband and I plan to come in November to visit for 10 days. We definitely want to live in the cooler weather. I'm sorry, that's Buster. He's sitting right here in front of me between me and the screen. Buster's laying here so I can pet him the whole time we're doing this live stream. He's such a ham. Anyway, we definitely want to live in cooler weather and nature. Do you apply for a visa while living in Panama, or can you do it while in the States? So you have to be in Panama to apply for a visa. You can't do that while you're living in the States. The only thing you can do is gather the necessary documents for getting your visa while you're in the States, and they have to be either authenticated at the Panama consulate or apostille at your state is another way that you can do it. So that's another thing you could check into is an apostille instead of the Panama consulate. But you have to be in Panama to actually apply for the visa.
Yeah, we plan to have all our documents ready. Once we get there, we'll visit Giovanna, and she'll take it from there. So yeah,
We're set.
Yeah, so someone said, yeah, Buster's helping out. He is literally from where I am and where my computer monitor is, he's laying in the middle, completely laid out so that I can pet him the whole time we're doing this thing. He's just, he's helping. Yeah, he's helping. Well, I want to thank you so much for sharing all of this information. And somebody asked, how much is the guide? The online guide is $595, and that's a one-time fee for lifetime access. You get all the updates, plus you get access to our private Facebook group, which I know you guys have been in there in the private Facebook group. Isn't it amazing how you ask a question instantly, everybody just jumps right on it, and they want to help. Everybody wants to help.
Right,
It's
right. There is
amazing.
so much help available, and you know what? It's money well spent because there's so much information in there that you need to know if you're going to move to Panama. This is
Mhm.
that without this, you're going to end up spending all kinds of money because you're going to be making mistakes.
And not only that, any person whose service you need, they're vetted by Jackie and her team. So there's a lot of scammers and things, unfortunately, in the world today, and you don't have to worry about that. And if you ever were to have a problem with any of the vendors, Jackie will be on it,
She'll
like
break
right
out
on
that
right.
whip.
Yeah, even we've had like immigration attorneys that we worked with for quite some time, and if we get too many complaints about them, they're gone. Or I'd interviewed an immigration attorney for an hour the other day, and he sounded really great, but then he threw in this other kind of a scheme that he had for helping people get a friendly nation visa. And it's something I hadn't really heard of before. And I didn't think it sounded right, and it could get people in trouble. And I ran it by some other attorneys, and they said, oh, you don't want to do that. It's super risky. People could wait 3 years and then their visa's denied at the end. So he didn't make the list because my job is to protect you, to make sure that you're working with the right people that are going to be honest, give you a fair price, and there's not going to be any surprises.
Right. We appreciate that. And, one thing we realize is that although it's true enough that the people in Panama, especially the locals, they're very warm and friendly, and they'll do anything for you. But, in the world that exists that we're in today, there are people that are out there, and they're waiting for the opportunity for you to call them instead of, the right relocation tour, and they will take you for your money. So not every attorney is honest. Not every, service that you get is going to be on point or properly priced. So you can end up spending a lot more money trying to do things differently. I have no regrets. We have no regrets. And
we're going to be here for you in the transition of moving, and long after you move here, we're going to still be here for you. So just that peace of mind is worth it.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yep.
We believe that. Yeah.
So thank you both again so much for sharing your experience with your private tour with Mari and Boquete. I'm glad that you got to see so many different areas and check on your medications. By the way, there's a hospital in David called Hospital May Lewis. It's one of the hospitals where Medicare Advantage and other U.S. and Canadian insurance is accepted. They just opened up a clinic in Boquete. And they have an ambulance there and everything. So And they're going to have different specialists that will come on a regular basis to that clinic. So you wouldn't even have to go into to David necessarily to see a specialist. So it just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah.
Oh,
We keep saying the same thing. It's like, every week we look forward to see what else has been added. That by the time we get there, everything's going to be perfect. That's we're just so impressed by the whole system that you have, and there is no reservation. Now we know what we have to do, and we're ready to do it. Now it's just the anticipation of finally getting there. It's exciting.
It is exciting. And to know that, as soon as you get there, your stress level's going to go down, your expenses are going to go down, and your health is going to improve. I can tell you that your health is going to improve.
Our family already has our farewell party planned. We have people already coming to hurry up and settle down.
It was on the 6-month checklist.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It was on the 6-month checklist. Well, thank you so much again for sharing your experience with the private tour. And I'm so excited for both of you about this new adventure you're about ready to embark on.
Thank
you.
And
thank you to everybody that joined us for this live stream today. I will send you a message about what the live stream is going to be about next Tuesday. So goodbye, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.